Your kicks might be loud, but are they actually good? You've layered, distorted, boosted the low end, but something still feels off. Today, I'll show you why that is, and how to fix it.
In this video, we are going to talk about EQ and soft clipping, saturation, the power of bus processing. We are also going to talk about using ozone and even a couple of AI tools. So let's keep moving.
In this first example, I took a really old and bad kick of mine. Let's see how we can make it better. This is how the kick sounds without any processing. It's really rough and ear-piercing. First thing we can try is to separate the punch and tail into different mixer channels. I recommend to try the FL Studio disperser if your punch is feeling too boxy. After that, we could try to add an equalizer and soft clipping to mix the punch to our liking. Much better. Now for the tail. The processing is very similar, only difference being that we are not using the disperser. Try pushing the low frequencies into the soft clipper. It will round out the harsh-sounding tail. The trick is not to overdo it, otherwise we might lose the character of the sound. Let's compare before and after. This is a much better point to start working and layering. Let's take this to the next level by routing our sounds into a bus channel and add Neutron 3. Try using the Sculptor module with these settings. Let's discuss the reasoning behind this trick being so effective. Take it away from here, my human companion.
Thanks. Well, I'm still not a human, but he will be speaking soon as well. In this tutorial, we dive a little bit deeper and really learn what is going on behind the methods. I'm using the Duck 2 to analyze the waveform. It's not affecting the sound at all. Let's see how the sound originally looked. And we are mainly looking at the tail, because it's a really easy way to show this. Look at the edges of the sound. Those really sharp peaks look exactly how they sound in this case. We want to round them up, so to speak. By applying soft clipping to the tail, you reduce higher harmonic content and re-emphasize the fundamental frequency. This often results in a waveform that visually and sonically resembles a sine wave. Clean, consistent, and tight.
Thanks. Let me take it from here. Let's talk about saturation, and use the things we learned just before as well. I like to use Patcher to create up-tempo bounce-style kicks. Here's one of my patches. Let's listen to this thing now. If you want to learn how to create sounds like these, check out my Patreon, link in description. For us to understand the process, this sound is initially generated by Serum 2. Just one wavetable, no effects. The real sound design happens in the effects section. For this video, we are mainly interested about the end of the plugin chain. Just by removing one component from the chain, we lose the kick completely. You probably already understand what this component is.
This was just to demonstrate the power of the soft clipping and the low-end boost. Now let's move on to the saturation part and see what kind of magic we can do with that. And if you want to support me, one of the easiest ways is to like and comment.
This one is a simple thing to do, and Saturn 2 is yet one of the best plugins to do this. I like to still use Saturn 1 presets. You can download them online from the FabFilter website. The difference here is way more subtle, but you can hear the sound getting much thicker and full-sounded. Too much nerd stuff. Bringing in the human translator.
Thanks, Mr. AI. You did a great job. Now it's my turn. In this next section, I want to demonstrate the power of bus processing. And I want to show you guys how you can go from this to this. Much more consistent, compressed and much more finished sounding kick. We are going to start with the effects on the bus channel. First thing I am using here is the low filter. And remember to do this so the filter sounds better. I'm only using the center option in the low filter to remove the DC offset if my kick has any. The next thing is obviously the neutron for me. I am using some equalizing here, but it's super minimal. The main effect again comes from the sculpture module. It's adding bass, adding some high end and scooping the mids, I think at least. Next thing in the chain I have is the clipper. It is barely touching the kick, might not actually be necessary for this, but I like to still have a clipper on the chain. Next up I have a equalizer, and as you can hear, this kick is more on the raw style side, so I really try to boost the fundamental frequency of the punch to get that really nice deep punch sound. I'm also removing some high end, but all of this is going to be personal for you and your kick. Next up is the most important thing in my opinion, is the ozone. Let's cover all of these effects one by one. First up I have some mix EQ, it's super subtle as you can see. Then we go into the dynamics section. Here, again, the processing is super minimal, but in my opinion it was necessary for the kick. Next up we have the maximizer, and this is the important part. You can maximize your kicks with just using clipping, or you can also obviously use the ozone standard maximizer or whatever maximizer you have or whatever version of ozone you have. Honestly, for these types of kicks I like to use this IRC1 mode, and then I just basically crank the threshold down as far as I feel comfortable to maximize the kick. And as you can see, if your kick still sounds okay when maximized, you are probably on the right track. Then we come to the interesting part, and this is in my opinion the best feature in ozone when used in a kick bus. It's the exciter. Now the exciter is super exciting because we can use multi-band processing, and all of the bands have multiple options for different type of saturation. Somebody might disagree, but what I like to do is I like to solo the band so I can actually hear what these individual bands are actually doing. And I like to crank the mix and amount up when I'm scrolling through these different options here, so I can hear how it changes the sound. And after I find something that I like to dial it down a little bit. And I go through all the bands like this, then I listen to the whole picture and do my final adjustments. If you have ozone standard or something, even the ozone elements, you still have really nice modules you can use. If you are still watching, like the video and comment what would you like to see next. In the end of this video, we are actually going to use AI to create kicks. Is it possible? Well, we'll find out. So let's move on to the next trick. This next trick is pretty awesome because it's super simple and you probably do have Serum too. First thing we are going to do is we are going to open up the sample oscillator, take our kick, drag it in. And remember to play C5, which is the default key for the kick. In this case it's F. Now we want to open up the B oscillator. And let's make sure that the B oscillator is in the same key as our kick. Now let's move this one octave down and the level all the way down. Now we are going to use the Serum 2's new FM, aka the real frequency modulation option from B. Let's add some volume here. And let's see what type of a difference this will make to our kick tail. I want to isolate the tail in this case because this is all about the tail. We also want to remember to turn down the randomness. Right there is, in my opinion, the sweet spot, and we are just simply using frequency modulation from B to modulate our sample. Now you can print this tail and you have a super powerful tail for your kick. So yeah, that's about it. Let's move on to the next section, which is a little bit more complicated, but even more interesting. See you there. Okay, so every single track you see here is got from AI. This is created with Suno AI using these prompts here and nothing else. I'm using the newest 4.5 version of Suno. I wanna demonstrate what you can do with minimal effort with Suno with no knowledge of hardstyle, raw style or hardcore production whatsoever. I'm gonna show you how you can take those kicks from those tracks if you wanna use them yourself or make them better. This is mainly just to demonstrate the power of AI if you still haven't understood it. So let's go.
I'm better, 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 I'm
I think this needs no explanation. That's just purely amazing. And I want you guys to keep in mind that I did this with minimal effort. I've been using this AI for a month or maybe max 2 months. And now the obvious part. I actually like this kick. So if you wanna take this kick and use it in your own tracks, we really only need to take this into editor. And now we are going to find the tempo of this track. Around there. Now let's go into the playlist. This is pretty clean. I recommend to go here, increasing this time PPQ so you can zoom in more in FL Studio. Now let's just cut that kick away. There we go. Now we are going to just simply make unique as a sample. Then let's remove these around there. you can go here, extract stems for sample. Check these boxes here. Extract. Let's see what we have here. This is the low end. Don't need that. Might need that. This is the punch. Cut it like so. And I think this is kind of a cool effect, to be honest. Maybe just leave it like so. Yeah, pretty cool. Now let's just route these into the mixer like so. As you can hear, now the tail is really rumbly. So there is a obvious easy fix for that. You can just use Serum too. I'm gonna use my hardcore preset pack here. If you go to kicks, tails, you have these different tails here. And by the way, this is Serum Hardcore Compound Volume 3. You can get it from my website if you want to. Not needed for this. You can do any sort of layering, but if you're interested. And what's the key of the kick? Now, just simply, let's go here. Lower down the volume. Use some ducking, plugging like this. And I can actually remove this sound here now. Or you can do something cool, maybe like... If you want to become a hardstyle mid-intro producer, this is an easy way to do it. But as you see, this is kind of a proof of concept. I've been using this technique with AI for the last month, and I've been making some pretty decent kicks. Actually, you can see here some AI kick projects. When you subscribe to Suno, you have those credits. You can create however many tracks you want to. You can use the prompts to try to make Suno do just kicks for you, basically, because it's clearly able to do this. Specifically, now the new 4.5 version is ridiculously good compared to the last version for this purpose. But I think that's pretty cool. We are living in a really, really interesting timeline when it comes to everything. And of course, this is going to touch music and everybody, everywhere. Even if you don't want to, this is going to happen. AI is going to be used to make music, and I know, although I don't know, but I feel it. This is already used in hard dance. You can maybe hear it somewhere, maybe not. But I guess that's the video. If you still want to be old school and learn actually how to make music, please check out my Patreon, check out my website for sample packs and all that good stuff. Links are in the description. Of course, check out the HG on Tunes Discord server. We are going to see you in the next video. Goodbye.